The entirety of PlayStation's Days of Play sale has been revealed. There's a lot of great deals physically, a lot of great deals digitally, and a lot of you guys are looking to spend a lot of money. However, I want to help you guys make the best decisions possible, and in today's video, I want to go over 5 huge tips going into the Days of Play sale that'll help you survive all of the sale. And of course, the sale is running from today and it will last until June 17th. A ton of great deals are available, but with a couple of wise decisions to be made, I think you guys can have a better time saving some money, keeping your wallet a little bit heavier, and not going off the deep end all too much. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, so kicking things off with number 1, I know a lot of you guys are primarily focused on the game deals, but of course there are a ton of hardware deals available as well, and a lot of them are pretty good. However, some of them not so good. Alright, so the PlayStation 4 Pro console is something that a lot of people want to get, I think, because the PlayStation 4 is showing its age a little bit at this point, going all the way into 2019 from 2014. However, I'm sorry, at $350, the PlayStation 4 Pro console, it's the base console, it's just not worth it. We've seen so many times where Sony has released these special edition consoles, whether it be the God of War console, whether it be the Marvel Spider-Man console. You would get a brand new $60 game on top of a custom designed PlayStation 4 Pro, and that would be $400. So for a big sale of the year, you're only dropping the PS4 Pro to $350. That's not that great. To give you guys a comparison point, for this E3 sale that Microsoft is running, their Xbox One X is down to $400 and they're bundling in a copy of The Division 2. That is a way better deal than the PlayStation 4 Pro for $350. Just objectively speaking, the One X is a more powerful console, and I just think $350 for the PlayStation 4 Pro isn't all too good. I think better off, save that money, put that towards the PlayStation 5 when it probably drops end of 2020, especially if you already have the base PlayStation 4 console. I think you should just ride it out until the end of this generation and then pick up the PS5 when that drops. The PlayStation 4 Slim, on the other hand, with a special design, yes, it's at a hefty price of $300, but these specially designed PlayStation 4 Pros usually end up being pretty rare, so if you are a collector or anything like that, $300 is pricey, but it's gonna end up being a lot more expensive. So if you have any interest in it, I would get it as soon as possible. I think they're mostly out of stock online at this point, but if you go in store, you probably can still find it in stock. The VR deals are okay, that being on the VR headset bundles. I saw the Borderlands bundle, I saw the recently released Blood and Truth bundle. However, they are at $300, which objectively speaking, and if you look at their regular price of $350, it's an okay deal. However, Black Friday, you typically get these bundles for $250, and that was Black Friday last year. Maybe this year they'll get a little bit cheaper, but I imagine that they'll be $250 at the very least once again. So if you can wait out a little bit, if you have that interest in VR, I would say wait until Black Friday and you can probably get a better deal on it. Even though saving $50 isn't enormous given that you're spending $250, $300 already, it's still an additional savings that if you can wait it out a little bit longer, you will get a better deal. And who knows, maybe come Black Friday they'll have another bundle release, maybe it'll be even cheaper. I'm just using the comparison point of last year, the VR bundles were down at $250. As far as accessories, I do want to note that the PlayStation 4 DualShock 4 controllers are down to $40, and those are great buys given that PlayStation 4 controllers are regularly $60, $65, something absolutely absurd. $40 is much more palatable, and even when the PS4 controllers go on sale, at the very least, they'll get to like $45 or $50. They are just so absurdly priced. I know the PlayStation 4 controller, a little bit more tech nuanced than, say, the PS2 controller, but $60 for a controller, that's just so expensive. But right now for $40, again, at least it's a little bit more palatable. Again, those are the hardware deals. Nothing that stands out to me too much. If you do want the PS4 Slim special design console for $300, again, it's probably going to be relatively expensive. So maybe check that out. If you're really eager to get into VR, you're saving $50, but I do think it's going to get cheaper. The controllers are good at $40, however. Okay, number 2, let's move on to actually talking about the game deals, and there are a lot of great deals available and a lot of great deals on very recent releases, but be mindful of what games you're gonna play immediately and what's going straight into the backlog. 5 months sounds like a long time, but it really isn't, and 5 months from now, the Black Friday and all of the holiday deals will happen, and a lot of the games you're eyeing right now are only gonna get cheaper. While Days Gone is probably the standout deal and what everyone's talking about, and at $40, I think it's a great pickup, given that it's a super recent release. However, it will probably be cheaper come November and come Black Friday time. That includes games like Ace Combat 7, Devil May Cry 5, Sekiro, and more so the games that came out recently, they'll probably be cheaper by then. By all means, if you have immense interest in a game, pick it up and play it, and you'll probably have a really good time, and you are getting a little bit of a discount. But you already waited a little bit, you already missed that launch day window. If you can wait for a little bit longer, come Black Friday, a lot of these games are going to be a lot cheaper. And it's just that I know for a lot of you guys, I know you already have colossal backlogs, so instead of blindly buying every relatively good deal with the games that are more recent releases, buy the ones you want to play in the very near future. By all means, pick them up and play them immediately. However, I don't want it to be a case where you have so many other games to play and you buy a couple of these games, you buy a Sekiro, you buy a Devil May Cry 5, and you don't get around to it. Black Friday rolls around, you realize you still haven't played that game, and now DMC5 is down to $25, Sekiro is down to $30, whatever the case may be. I'm just trying to help you guys save money on that end because I think that is a little bit of a factor that some of you guys are going to miss out on. Alright, moving on to number 3, now is a phenomenal time to round out the library of essential games. Now, these are games that a lot of you guys that if you've had your PlayStation 4 for a while, if you've been buying games regularly, you probably own a lot of these games. However, these probably make up the best deals available in the entirety of the sale. So what games are included? I'm talking about games like Bloodborne. That's down to $9.99. The complete edition is $17 and change. That's an awesome deal. A lot of you guys probably have Bloodborne, but if you don't, you should probably add it to your library, and at that price, it's awesome, and it's probably not going to get cheaper. So a game like this, you can buy it for $9.99, but you don't have that worry of just throwing it into your backlog because I guarantee you, Bloodborne is not going to get any cheaper. So that's pretty good. Ratchet & Clank down to $9.99. That's a great deal as well. Detroit Become Human down to $7.99. That's an awesome deal. Given that Detroit is what, only a year old, and for it being down to $7.99, that's really great. Shadow of the Colossus down to $12.99. Awesome deal. Love that game from Bluepoint. They did a great job remaking Shadow of the Colossus on the PlayStation 4, and I would highly recommend it. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, probably one of the most forgotten about PlayStation 4 exclusives. I see no one really talking about this game when they talk about the best PS4 exclusives. You talk about Marvel Spider-Man, you talk about God of War, maybe because they're more recent, but in my eyes, Uncharted 4 was the best PlayStation 4 exclusive this generation so far, and I noted that whenever I say that, some of you guys come out of the woodworks and agree with me in the comment section, so I definitely appreciate that. There's definitely some of you guys that harken back to Uncharted 4 being a tremendous game like I do, but that's available for $9.99. And that's an awesome deal. Again, if you bought your PS4 more recently, maybe Uncharted 4 is a game you missed out on. Maybe you missed out on the entirety of the Uncharted franchise. The Nathan Drake collection is also down to $9.99, and that'll get you Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3. All great games. Not as good as Uncharted 4, mind you, but great games nonetheless. And then the Lost Legacy, the standalone expansion, that's down to $9.99 as well. So all of those are great deals. Probably not going to get any cheaper. And definitely well worth a buy. Marvel Spider-Man down to $19.99. That's awesome, given that Spider-Man has been really holding up at that $40 price point. At best, you'll see it for $30, $35. At $20, Spider-Man is an awesome buy. God of War at $20. That is an awesome buy, and that game has been a lot more expensive recently. It was down to like $17 at last year's Black Friday as a part of like a doorbuster at GameStop, but since then, really been holding up at that $30 to $40 range, now down to $20. It's an essential to have in your library, and you should definitely add it to your library if you haven't yet. Witcher 3, the complete edition, that's been readily available for $15. It's available once again at that price, a game that's worth adding to your wish list. The Last of Us Remastered for $9.99, again, probably not going to get much cheaper. Last of Us Part 2 is on the way. That's an essential game to have in your library. So games like that, and I kind of gave you guys the rundown of the highlights to me, but there are a couple more titles that fit in that category, and we'll be uploading videos on the best deal, so don't worry about that. I just wanted to give you guys some insight on these are the types of deals that I would really be eyeing. Of course, pick up the more expensive deals, but if you're trying to round out your library of the great games and you don't own these games, get these games first because they're incredibly cheap and they're probably not going to get much cheaper. Maybe Spider-Man will drop a couple bucks, maybe God of War will drop a couple bucks, but in the case of Uncharted 4, Bloodborne, Ratchet, I think those are going to really hold at that $9.99 price point given when they're on sale. Alright, number 4, some deals are just not that good and they're cheaper elsewhere physically. The majority of the deals are very good. Some, however, are just head scratchers, and let me explain. Wolfenstein 2 for $30 is crazy given that the game has been south of $20, so that is absolutely not worth it. Watch Dogs 2 was just $9 as a part of an earlier sale, but it's $15 on this sale. Some people are probably going to get duped. Watch Dogs Legion is going to get announced, and then they're going to think, oh, I gotta buy Watch Dogs 2 now, and then they don't realize they've just been duped and they spent more money than the game readily went for. I feel like that's why Ubisoft put the price point on this to $15 instead of $9. That's just my speculation. Who knows? That just seemed like a strange decision. Dead or Alive 6, on the other hand, that's $48 when it's been on sale as low as $30 physically. I'm okay with a little bit of a differential when it comes to digital versus physical, but in this case, this is such a stark difference that, come on, $48 for Dead or Alive 6, that's a bit much, even though it's a recent release. And then there are other deals that are just okay, such as Tetris Effect for $24, but again, I see that available right now physically for $20. Astrobot Rescue Mission is $32 on PSN, $20 on Amazon. Spyro Reignited Trilogy is $30 on PSN, but it's $25 physically. And there are a couple more instances of that. Some of you guys exclusively want your games one way or another, whether it be digitally or physically, but if you're open to either going one route versus the other in some specific scenarios is going to pay dividends, and you will see some price differences, so be mindful of that as well. Alright, lastly, number 5, and this goes without saying, it is time to re-up your subscriptions. PlayStation Plus 12-month subscriptions are available for $40. Every retailer has them. PlayStation Store has them. That is awesome, and it usually doesn't get much cheaper than that. At $40, you're paying just over $3 a month for your subscription, and as I've always mentioned, when you're paying that price versus, say, $5 a month when paying $60 a year, or God forbid you're one of the few going $10 a month by month, the Plus game offerings, while they're relatively good, and I thought June's game offerings were excellent, the months that aren't so good, they start becoming a lot more palatable because you're not going month by month and dropping $10. You're not going yearly at a $60 rate. You're paying $40 a year, and you need Plus anyway if you want to play online, and I'm not for pay-to-play online. However, that's the world we live in. Sony's raking in so much revenue with Plus that it's going to be here to stay. Hell, I could very well see it go up in price in the future. But let's hope that doesn't come to pass. $40 right now is a good buy. Not only PlayStation Plus, I know a lot of you guys haven't been on board with PlayStation Now. However, a 12-month subscription to PS Now is $30 off, and it has become a much more of a compelling service. And for $70 a year, that works out to what? Just less than $6 a month if my math is right? Given everything you're getting with the service, the PS2 and PS4 game direct downloads, which you can download directly to your PS4, or you have the option to stream them if you so see fit, which offers a sizable library of games, and if your internet is good enough, you can stream the vast library of PlayStation 3 games as well. At $20 a month, which is the regular rate, I would say it's absolutely not worth it. You can pay $100 a year and go that route as well, but at $70 a year, I think it is a very, very good deal. However, do be mindful of the fact that if you're looking to pick up a lot of these games, a lot of the games that are on sale are also available on PlayStation Now. I believe Bloodborne is on PlayStation Now. There are a bunch of other PlayStation 4 game offerings, so if you do subscribe to PS Now, make sure that you don't double dip and you'll buy a bunch of the other games that are a part of PS Now, because you have to factor that in as well. I know for some of you guys, you just don't want the subscription style service. You'd rather buy your games, you'd rather own them, although if you buy a game digitally, there's the questions that can arise with that anyway, but nonetheless, you guys get the idea. If you are interested in PlayStation Now, now is as good of a time as ever to sign up for it. I did see it one time for $60 for like a couple hours on Amazon, but in terms of deals that are readily available, $70 for a year of PS Now is as good as it's gonna get. Alright, so that's gonna conclude this video. Those are my 5 big tips to survive Days of Play, PlayStation's big sale. I know for some of you guys, you own a lot of the games that are already on sale. You've already got a PlayStation 4 Pro console. You've got all your controllers, headsets, VR, whatever the case may be, but for those of you guys that are still trying to expand your PlayStation library, now is a great time to do so, but do be a little selective with what you buy, especially if you do have a sizable backlog, and especially if there are some games that you're not looking to play immediately. So I hope you guys found this video a little insightful. As always, sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.